Welcome to our How To series on SAP Profitability and Performance Management. Modeling Environment, Key Features, Part 1. The modeling environment is used by modeling users to set up and change financial and business models. This is where all model design, changes and enhancements are made to meet the requirements of specific use cases. A model can be set up from scratch or from a copy of one of the sample content models that is then adjusted to meet specific needs. Log on to the Profitability and Performance Management client of the system. At times, User menu is initially shown in the SAP GUI. To toggle, choose the button for SAP menu. This will ensure that users can see the relevant applications. SAP menu view leads to where the profitability and performance management applications are located. To access the My Environments application, choose SAP menu. Profitability and Performance Management. Modeling. My Environments. This is the My Environments screen where all environments created are available. To modify or configure an environment, choose the desired environment. Once highlighted, choose Continue. This is a sample environment, where you will find the following. Function hierarchy. The modeling environment allows the construction and maintenance of a model, by adding and connecting multiple functions into a common network. The output of a function can be the input of other functions and thus contribute to the logic of the model. These functions can be arranged optionally in a function hierarchy. This hierarchy has no effect on the logic of the model and simply serves for better readability. On edit mode, functions can be added, removed, edited, activated, and copied. Add. By choosing the Add button, you can create a new function in the environment. But before doing so, choose a node in the function hierarchy to be the starting point of the intended function to be created. If you don't choose a starting point, the created function will be added below the calculation unit function, as the modeler is not allowed to create a function in the same level of a calculation unit. In this case, select the Data Sources node. Press Add. In the function dialog box for the add level, two options can be chosen from the drop list. Same level means that the function to be created will be structured on the same level of the selected entry, which is in this case is the data sources node. One level below means that the function to be created will be structured below the calculation unit or a description function, which we also call a node. Since we intend to create the function below the data source node, we choose the option, one level below. The modeler would now maintain the following fields. Function ID. Function ID is a unique function identifier that initially has a predefined numeric ID which can be optionally used or changed to a unique alphanumeric ID by the modeler. In this case we change the predefined numeric ID to MTPRD. Description. Description is a business-like name of the function being created. In this case the user indicates description. Product drivers. Function type. Financial and business models consist of functions that are connected to each other by means of input-output relationships. The output of one function can be the input of multiple other functions. And by this, complex calculations and logic can be modeled in a comfortable way. In the drop-down list, user can choose the function to be created, such as allocation or calculation. Since we are creating a data source function, let's choose model table. Let us proceed with event handling. Event handling. By default during function creation, event handling is set to logging. Logging option registers function processing errors, such as allocations unassigned items in the application log after processing. In order to process or adjust such erroneous data records, set the event handling type to management. In event handling type management, all unprocessed records will then have an option for further processing through My Events application. Please take note that the discussion of allocations unassigned items and business event management will be part of the next installments of video for SAP community. Just for this video, the user select logging. Processing type. By default during function creation, processing type is set to sub-function. Sub-functions are functions that are not populating data records in auto-generated DDIC table, unless assigned as an activity under a process template, or a run process has been initiated. If a function is just meant to be an interim function in the whole modeling logic, choose sub-function. Executable, on the other hand, is being assigned to functions that are to populate data records in the modeling logic. For example, function typewriter used as an input of another function. Another example are those functions that are to be used as inputs of query. Please take note that a model table function with model table source environment will always create entries in the DDIC table regardless of the processing type. The discussion of maintaining entries in a model table function will be part of the next installments of video for SAP Community. Lastly, partitioning. For high-end scenarios, you need to explicitly configure parallelization and partitioning in the modeling environment to enable you to do the following: handle datasets with more than 2 billion records, or actively manage RAM or CPU usage. Optionally, the modeler can create the partition within the Partitionings tab through the Environment button, which will be part of the next installment of videos for SAP Community. The created partition can be optionally chosen in the partitioning field. For now, we will leave the partitioning field empty. All fields are now maintained. Press OK. Another function has been created under its corresponding node using the same steps. In this case, a view function was created under the processing node. To save the added functions in the hierarchy, the modeler must click on Save for this to take effect. Once this is saved, the modeler will receive a success message indicating that the function tree was saved successfully. Copy. By choosing the Copy button, the user will be able to copy a function, or a set of selected functions. All configuration done in the function will be copied automatically. To perform a copy, choose the function to be copied, and for this example select Product Drivers. Choose Copy. In the Copy function dialog box, by default the entries in the target environment or version is the environment where the newly copied function will be created. In our video, we select the same environment. Target function. The target function will be the basis on where the copied function will be positioned. Together with the target function, it is also important to choose the copy level in order to position the function being created. Copy level. Same level means that the function to be created will be structured on the same level of the target function, which is in this case the product drivers MTPRD. One level below means that the function to be created will be structured below the calculation unit or a description function, which we also call a node. Since the target function is not a calculation unit or a description function, we choose the option Same level. Copy type. In the copy type, there are two options in the drop-down list. These are modeling copy functions and modeling merge functions. Modeling copy functions creates a new entry of the copied function in the target environment. If you choose modeling merge functions option, the configuration of the selected function will be merged to an existing function in the target environment. And to show the copy type options further, for modeling copy options, in the selected function area, the copied function by default would have the same function ID and description as the selected function. As the function ID should be unique in the environment, the modeler can opt to change the function ID manually or choose the Suggest New IDs button. This will generate a numeric value that will be used as the function ID of the copied function. Choose Suggest New IDs button. This would now generate a unique numeric ID for the copied product drivers function. Optionally, the new description can be changed to have a unique business-like name for the new function. Choose OK. The newly copied version would then be added in the environment. As the model table function that we copied has the transport data option set to yes, the copied function would then be activated automatically. Now that we know how the copy functionality works, let's move on with the merge functionality. To fast forward a bit, an empty model table product drivers 2, ZMERG, has been created which intends to accept all settings coming from the selected model table. Let me now show you how we will merge the configuration of product drivers MTPRD function to our product drivers 2 ZMERG function. Choose Copy. Once the Copy function screen appears, we will select the Copy Type option. Modeling Merge Functions. In the selected function area, there are two sections that we need to maintain: New Function and New Description. New Function is the function ID where we will merge the configuration of the selected function. Since we desire to copy the configuration of product drivers MTPRD to product drivers 2 ZMERG, let us assign the ZMERG as the new function. Now we have completely changed the new function from MTPRD to ZMERG. Let us proceed to the New Description section. New Description is the business-like name of the function. It is important to maintain an entry in this section which will then be the new description of product drivers 2 ZMERG. Initially the description and new description are the same. Since we don't want to use product drivers as the description, let us change the entry in the new description section. We have now changed the new description to product drivers 3. Choose OK. We can now see that the configuration of product drivers MTPRD which has been merged to ZMERG, as you can see in the function details. As a side note, function details are displayed on the right. Depending on the function type, certain functions are available in display mode to run a function, or to analyze or show a result. For example, in edit mode, the function is locked against changes from other users, and changes are made persistent during save. Other users can see these changes once they display the function details, or switch to edit mode themselves. Now let's focus back on the description function. You will notice that the description of product drivers 2 now has a new description, which is product drivers 3. As the model table function that we have merged with the empty model table has the transport data option set to yes, the merged function would then be activated automatically. Also, we have created the reporting node that was copied from the processing node, using the same steps for modeling copy function. Now when a modeler would need to remove a function that is no longer relevant in his environment, the modeler would need to select the function to be deleted and must choose Remove. In this case we have selected the reporting node. Choose Remove. The Confirm Deletion dialog box appears. Optionally, the modeler could enter the reason for the deletion of the function. That would show up in our modeling history application. The discussion for modeling history will be part of the next installment of videos for SAP Community. For now we will leave this as empty. Choose Confirm. Once the user has selected Confirm, the deleted function will be removed in the function hierarchy. Then a message log would prompt, instructing the modeler to choose Save for the function to be fully deleted. Choose Save. Once this is saved, the modeler will receive a success message indicating that the function tree saved successfully. Let us have a recap of the discussed buttons in the function hierarchy. We have already discussed Add, Copy, and Remove. Now we will be discussing the Function Attributes button. Function Attributes. By choosing Function Attributes, the modeler would be able to display or change the properties of a function. But before doing so, choose a function. In our video, we select Product Drivers 3, ZMERG. Choose Function Attributes. The function dialog box appears. The function attributes contains 4 tabs which are General, Advanced, Runtime Attributes, and Analysis Layouts. If the function hierarchy is on display mode, the function attributes could only be shown to the modeler. But if it is on edit mode, the modeler could make adjustments in the function attributes except for the Runtime Attributes tab. Let us discuss further the different tabs. For the General tab, this is the same screen that we discussed while adding a function in the environment. Function ID and function type are not editable regardless if the function hierarchy is on display or edit mode. While for description, event handling, processing type, and partitioning, changes can be done if the function hierarchy is on edit mode. For example, we will change the description from product drivers 3 to product drivers 4. Choose OK. we will notice that the description of the function ZMERG has been changed to product drivers 4. The modeler would need to choose Save for the changes to take effect. Choose Save. Once this is saved, the modeler will receive a success message, indicating that the function tree saved successfully. As a side note, if the modeler made a change for event handling, processing type, and partitioning, reactivation of the function is necessary. Now let us go back to the function attributes to discuss the other tabs. Choose Function Attributes. Once the function dialog box appears, choose Advanced tab. In the Advanced tab there are 2 sections, which are only valid if you are calling SAP Profitability and Performance Management externally via external callers. External callers are reports or transactions such as NXI, P1_FW_run, and CVPM. These sections are Package Selection and Package Parameter. Package Selection. In order to have a more optimal parallelization setup while consuming data records from data sources such as RDL, you can maintain a package selection by adding at least one field that is present in the data source. Once fully set, a processing function such as a view or a join should be created on top of the data source function, which will perform the selection of data that is needed for further processing. Package Parameter. Maintain this section with parameters in order to pass values coming from an external caller that will substitute those parameters in the configuration logic. Now we proceed to the next tab. Runtime Attributes. Runtime Attributes is a display-only tab in Function Attributes, which shows the generated runtime artifacts of a function. Analysis Layouts. This contains the saved layout in the Analyze screen of a function that would be included in a transport that can be moved in the next system. To show you where the values came from, let us remember these entries: Sample Layout and Sample Environment Layout. Then let us close the Function Attributes dialog box. Choose OK. Once the Function Attributes dialog box is closed, choose Analyze button in the function details of the selected function. A new window will open. This is the Analyze screen. In the Layout drop list, we can see Sample Environment Layout and Sample Layout, which are the same entries in the Analysis Layouts tab. Now let us go back to the Analysis Layouts tab. The layouts are automatically added in this dialog box whenever a new layout from the Analyze screen is created. If the layout is not mandatory for transport, it is possible to remove them from the list via Remove button. Now let us remove one of the layouts. Select Sample Layout. Choose Remove. Once the layout is removed, choose OK. Choose Save. Once this is saved, the modeler will receive a success message indicating that the function tree saved successfully. Now let us have a recap of the discussed buttons in the function hierarchy. We have already discussed Add, Copy, Remove, and Function Attributes buttons. Now we will be discussing the 2 last buttons, which are Activate and Where Used buttons. Activate. In the modeling environment, there are 2 ways to activate a function. The first one is via the Activate button in the function hierarchy, and the Activate button in the function details. The Activate button in the function details activates the individually selected function, while the Activate button in the function hierarchy, the modeling user can select multiple functions in the function hierarchy. This button calls the activation for every function that has been selected. Earlier in this video, we have created some functions that were intentionally not activated. Now let us activate these functions at the same time by using the function hierarchy Activate button. We can select multiple functions by holding your keyboard's Control key, and by selecting the functions to be activated. In this example these are Product Drivers, MTPRD, and View of Product Drivers, VIPRD. Choose Activate. After the activation of the selected functions, notice that the activation state column in the function hierarchy has an active icon for Product Drivers, MTPRD, and View of Product Drivers, VIPRD. This indicates that the function is already activated in the environment. Lastly, we will discuss about the Where Used button. Where Used button. The Where Used button informs the modeler where the selected function has been used as an input. In our video, let us select Product Drivers (MTPRD), which we actually configured as an input of the view of Product Drivers function. Choose Where Used. The Where Used dialog box appears. In this dialog box, we can see where the function we have selected is used. In this example, function Product Drivers (MTPRD) is used as an input of view of Product Drivers function (VIPRD). You can use this optional functionality to trace where a specific function has been used in the environment. By clicking the function, a new browser window will appear with the configuration of the said function. As you can see in the function's details of view of Product Drivers, the input function assigned is Product Drivers. Now we already completed the overview for function hierarchy buttons. We hope you learned the basic features of the modeling environment. Please stay tuned for part 2 of modeling environment. Key features, which will focus on the header buttons such as Save, Show Hide, Environment, Historize, and Modeling Flow. Thank you for watching. Find more videos about SAP profitability and performance management on this channel. Visit sap.com for more information, or contact your local SAP account executive for a system demo.